Hello and welcome everybody. Today I have with me Amey Jesthnaik. You are
Yeah,
an trainee software engineer, and thank you so much for taking the time out to be part of this podcast that I call Down and Dirty, because we get into the weeds of how um, people use tools and software and platforms and experiences. And today we're going to talk about you using ChatGPT at work.
yeah,
Uh, Amit, thanks again. Do you want to start us off with a quick introduction of about yourself and what you do?
yeah. So my name is Amey, and I work at QAD, and we have the e-com arm, which is known as QAD DC. So I work at that e-com solution. We provide the B2B solution for businesses, and it's been 6 months. I'm working with the QAD, and it's good. Thanks for having me, by the way.
Great, great. And so this is your first job out of right after completing your bachelor's, correct?
Yeah. It's my first job. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So, what we are before we jump into Chat GPT and all of that fun stuff, I would like you to tell somebody who may not know what an early stage software engineer, what is your a day in your life look like? What do you do from the time you wake up and log into work till the
Mm-hmm.
time you
Mm-hmm.
finish work over the course of a day?
Okay, so because it is remote work, we can log in anytime we want. We can pick our shift. So at start of the day, it's just same thing. We go through the emails, some PM reviews, go through the tickets. We have Jira tickets assigned by the PM, which is project managers. We can go through that and target some tickets which we have to complete today. So basically, we have 100 plus clients, and they have different customized solution we provide them. And there is something like bug or any feature we want to implement. If PM create new tickets, assign them to developer, which is us. We do not directly communicate with clients. So
Hmm.
project manager is the one who communicates with clients, and then going through the tickets, connect with some seniors, like get their inputs, and work on these tickets for the whole day, 8 to 6 hours. So
Got
that's
it.
usually my day.
And is most of your interaction with your PM, is that happening through email? Is it happening through a communication software like Slack or Teams? How are you communicating with your PM?
Uh, so basically, we use Slack,
Hmm.
but if you want to connect like for video conferencing or share something, we can. It's Slack only, but sometimes we use Meet.
Okay, sometimes you use Meet. So a
Yeah.
large part of your day is you have tickets that are assigned to you, and your job is to clear those tickets out.
Yeah.
Sometimes in collaboration with your PM, other times if there's something that you can do yourself, you just take it on and finish
Yeah,
that.
finish that. Yeah.
Got it. And where is the management of these tickets happening? Are you using a project management software, or are you
Yeah.
using what platform are you using?
Actually, have daily stand up at 9.
Hmm.
So everyone join the stand up and update about these tickets, and then team lead put this in done, committed, and PM review under something. So we manage that. So we keep track of everyone's tasks, where everyone
Understood.
is. Yeah.
And
So we
I
use Jira.
you use Jira. Okay, I think I
Yeah.
missed that. Okay, so you use Jira for the actual management of tickets and as it moves
Hmm.
along the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Understood. Okay. So would you say that majority of your day is spent in either Jira, Slack? I mean, it seems as though majority of your day is spent in Jira, Slack, or email. Is that
Hmm.
correct?
Yeah. And some
Okay.
software development tools also. Yeah. The
Right.
editor and all, or everything.
Of course, the actual thing
The
that you
actual
need to
thing. Yeah.
resolve the tickets.
Things.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But for communication and the operations of day-to-day stuff, you would Slack, Jira, and email are
Yeah.
probably your internal tools that you're using to communicate. And okay.
Yeah.
ठीक है. So what would you say at this stage, so early in your career as a software engineer? You've done this for 6 months. What has been so far the most rewarding part of your job? What have you liked
Mm,
the most?
actually, work from home. I think it's the best thing happened. Like you can get as a fresher,
Mm.
you can expect. You get flexibility. You cut down 2 hours, like traveling. You know how
Yeah.
it feels to travel from West Side to Mumbai for job 2 hours. So
Oh my
that's,
God.
yeah. So that time I save, and I can utilize them to my own hobbies or anything I like. Then in QAD, the work culture is very friendly. I can directly reach out to my director or some anyone for
Mhm.
help or anything, and my opinions like gets heard actually.
Hmm.
Gets they get valued. So it's the best thing. I think that's the best part. Like
Okay.
if I suggest something like this need to be changed, needs to be correct, uh yeah, I get like preference, like my manager also helps me with that, so it's good. I think I
Very
like
nice.
this. Yeah.
That's great. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I should ask you this question this early in your career, but is there anything that you don't like about the work that you do?
uh Sometimes work from home, like it gets boring. You don't get to meet a lot of people, you don't get to interact a lot with your seniors. uh, uh, but companies, like organizations, are trying to resolve that by like organizing some events where you can actually meet and
Hmm.
talk other than work about your personal things and all. So basically, what's happened, work from home, you complete your 8 hours work and you don't have anyone to talk about. Sometimes you
That's
feel
right.
sometimes depressed. It's actually thing. So I think, but this is a new thing, and I think organization like big tech companies are also taking part and creating something like events and where their employees can meet and talk other than work, instead like their hobbies and anything. It's like recently, I've been to Ahmedabad.
Mhm.
We have a company meet, like team meet, so that's why I have to cancel the previous meeting. Yeah.
Got
So
it.
that's the thing. Yeah.
How was that team meeting?
Great actually. We been like we bowl. We've been to bowling, snooker. We played some games, then team lunch, and some impromptu plans, future plans, and some guidance actually from seniors, like what I have to concentrate for future, what I
Hmm.
have to learn, everything. We
That's
talk about
great.
everything. Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so the challenge of working from home, QAD, and you're saying even other companies that you know of probably have friends in, this is how they're trying to mitigate that, is having offsites and
Mhm.
opportunities for you to bond outside of work,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Okay. Okay, ठीक है. So let's talk about ChatGPT and conversational AI. When was the first time you heard about it or got interested in it, let's say?
Mhm. So AI is not a like new thing from me.
Yeah.
The term AI, I think, is used. I think used by Alan Turing, which is if you've seen that movie, The Enigma Code. I don't know. That's where it used, and I think some people says that Alan Turing is the father of AI. So he created the Enigma machine, which decrypts the German code. So I think that's it's a very long time. And now the OpenAI and all, it's been advanced. Like we are in very advanced step. So as an AI is not a new term for me. Uh, from like I introduced to AI, I think in my third year. Yeah, this tech. And but at that time we don't know about this AI models, that this ChatGPT and all OpenAI. But I come to know about OpenAI. I think it's 2020. Yeah, I think it's 2020 when
2020. And it launched.
Elon Elon leave leave this OpenAI. That
Okay.
news. That's when I come to know this OpenAI thing, that this
Got it. So
organization
that's
is
when
trying to.
you got it. So that's when you paid attention to it.
Yeah.
And but there wasn't much that we could as lay people do with that information, because
Mhm.
we didn't have access to
Mhm.
AI, to open AI in the way that we have it now,
Mhm.
through ChatGPT. And when you first played around with ChatGPT, right, when it came into our hands, into the hands of the
Mhm.
public, what was your first impression of the tool?
Uh, like first impression, I tried to uh, generate some program, like front end, basically
Mm.
simple front end. Like I simply type, hey, ChatGPT generate the simple login form for me. So it generated. I tested and it did pretty well. And that time I really get nervous. Like, okay, what is this thing? Is it going to take my job? Uh, and I think it's everyone feels that way. Every software engineer feels that way. And I think OpenAI first customer is the majority of users are software engineer. They are from tech background
Mm.
actually. So that helps OpenAI, I think, to train. Like it get better and better when software engineers or a tech person use or prompt this thing. I think.
Correct, correct, correct. And so, okay, so first impressions, it sounds like, was a little bit of nervousness because it did pretty well in
Yeah.
in generating front end code.
Yeah.
And what happened after that? Did this become something that you thought you could use, or did you feel like, okay, let's just answer that. Is that, did you go back to it, and what else did you test with it once you first tried out that first experiment?
Yeah, I mean, now it's become the part of my like work life. Basically, every time Jira ticket came, every day, I go to the code, and if it's backend, if it's completed Java code, I did not go through line by line. I just copy that code, get that code, put it in the ChatGPT, and said, "Hey, explain this code to me." So I saved like 10 to 20 minutes by doing this. So that's how I used right now.
Got it.
Yeah.
So right now, are you still nervous about the power of ChatGPT to take away your job or replace aspects of your job, or have you instead, used it for some other functions, and has your opinion changed?
No, I think everyone is nervous. I think the OpenAI CEO is also nervous about this like AI thing. Elon Musk is also the big leaders is also nervous about this thing, and they are saying that we need to regulate some kind, like put the regulation on this thing. Uh, I think it's going to cut massive amounts of blue collar jobs, like myself, software engineers, and everything. um, I recently heard that like the Odisha news report or something, they use AI model to present
Anchor.
the news. Yeah. So we are seeing this, like, and also the IBM is also cut down these jobs, the customer supports, and now they are using AI. So yeah, but I think in future, I also believe that government is going to put some regulation on this, on everything. Like Italy, I came to know that Italy banned this ChatGPT thing, and now I think it's now global thing. Like how governments going to look up to this, like how we put regulation on this. So it's unpredictable right now.
Right. So at the big picture level, yes, there are a lot of unanswered questions around, how to use and leverage ChatGPT, because we can't put it back in a box. But
Yeah.
is there a way to regulate it? Yes, perhaps there is. So let's come back to, how you use it. So from the first time you realized the power of it, to then you saying, okay, let me use it to help me out and clarify, let's say, lines of code and help me understand
Mm-hmm.
what's happening in a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
It would be helpful to see an example of that. So is there
Okay.
something that you can show us in terms of what you might classically use it for?
Okay, so let me just share my screen.
Yeah.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, okay, so I have one test code. I just copy this and
So before you copy it, so tell me what
okay.
happens. You get an email. In the email, you get a notification saying, Amey, you've been assigned a ticket. Is that how that happens? Take me through the process.
Okay, so there is the Jira ticket assigned to me. I get an email about that Jira ticket. I go through that problem which is mentioned in that ticket, everything, and then go to that code.
Okay.
And this is the demo code. This is not
Yeah.
the actual code. This is the demo code, but this is a like similar.
Exactly.
Yeah. So right now, let's say I get the ticket like the total value of cart getting calculated differently, like it's wrong. And this is the Java code for this. So this is the file. So what I did, I just copied this code and just asked GPT to explain this code. Wait. So it's now what it's gonna do is explain the line by line, and I just have to read through the like the main part of it. So I just say there 5-20 minutes right there. So it's
Okay.
explain me how this e-commerce class work, what's property it have, then this Pojo class product, what properties it have, and how it's get assigned and everything. I can go deeply right now, like I also can modify the double like total price. I can prompt uh, other things like other things to get to know this code more easily, like more uh, I can prompt other things also,
Can we
like
try some of the prompts? Like, what else would you do to this?
okay, let's see. Okay, it's getting get price. Or okay, let's just try simple things. Um, Total price get calculate, and now it's going to show me how the total price is going to calculate. Like in this given program, total price calculated in the calculate total price method, and then everything like for which is for loops and product item and this get price function. So that's how the total price is getting calculated here. So it's
Got it.
calling that total price method and then going through the few um, this for loops, and then we are getting this total price.
Got it. Let me ask you a question.
Hmm.
Before you had ChatGPT to explain lines of code, what were you doing?
Hmm. So it's basic thing debugging. We have actually called debug. So in IDE where we still use that, but now it's easy to use ChatGPT to explain the code, and then we can then debug the code. Like when we debug the code, we get to know like actual like uh, suppose we have this ID like this ID name and price. So while I'm debugging the code, I get to know what value assign like on the real time to name to ID and price. But and that's how we can like that's the one way you can get to know the code earlier, like to debug. So I can like while we're debugging we used to put breakpoint in debug. So suppose I put product this on this line, product one and new product. So I put breakpoint in this line, and then then I run the project on my local, and then debug line by line by line and get to know actually how these variables get assigned and how this program works, which every programmer used earlier to debug the code.
Got it. So instead
Yeah.
of copy pasting this line by line, trying to understand the assignment, like you said, you can now put the whole thing to ChatGPT and it can help you understand that.
Yeah. So like for me, this in my company, like the whole software is already built, and it's very difficult to work with the code which you are not created, like to work with someone else code. And you have to get through a lot of documentation and like this debugging to get to know this code, the functionality, overall functionality, how it's working. So by doing this, like by prompting to ChatGPT, I get to know the basic functionality of code. And
Understood.
then yeah, rather than going through a lot of documentation, I can directly go through like prompt ChatGPT and get to know the basic functionality of how this code or how this functionality is working here in this code.
Got it. And how likely are you to then interact with the output in the way that you showed me? Matlab, we got this output and then you said, hey, I could go one step deeper and say, help me understand how total price is calculated. That's something that you see yourself do or have recently done in interacting with ChatGPT, which means once it gives you the first level of insight, then are you asking for more and more specificity, or is that normal practice? Are you normally asking it follow-up questions, or are you happy with the first insight that it provides?
Sometimes actually the first prompt, like it clearly described everything, but sometimes when it's like my code is like it depends on other code also, like it's get connected. So suppose we have one functionality cart, like example for this cart. Here we only calculate total price, but there is another file, another code which calculating the cart like cart items, supports cart items. So that is connected. And if I am asking that question, then what ChatGPT is going to tell me that provide that code also. Like some, if you want to explain that, provide that code also, then I can give that. So sometimes it helps you to like uh, get deeper and deeper if you want
Got
to
it.
know more.
Okay, so one of the things that we did here as a use case after ChatGPT provided its first level response is you asked it to clarify something like how do you calculate total price? Give me some other, can you give me one or two other examples of what else you might ask of it from this itself? Not where you need to supply another code, but what else would you be in your line of work? What else would you ask it to do as something to clarify?
Okay. So in my team, what we do, like if some persons work on some functionality, we have to document that thing. Like put a documentation and save it for others to use. I created some document regarding CXML punch out integration. So punch out integration, what it is? So we punch out integration connects to procurement system. If we have one vendor and they have their own like e-commerce system, and we have our own e-commerce system, they are connected through punch out. So I have to create one documentation for this. So what I did is I create some random bullet points, some text, and ask ChatGPT to create organize this text more clean, like more easily. So the what I can do, show you that. Let me see if I have that. I don't know, in this machine I have this. Okay, what I can do is, okay, I just prompt this. So right now what it's going to do is going to create a CXML doc. So this is the documentation I created, like, but it's not similar. It's a different prompt now. I created from bunch of other websites, put them together, and then prompt here. It's on my different laptop. That's why I just it's not able to
So what you
show
would
you
do
right
if
now.
you're getting, so what you're, if I'm understanding you correctly, you're taking information from different websites, putting it
Hmm.
together, and then are you
Hmm.
asking ChatGPT to rewrite this?
Yeah, like like in more organized way, like how articles articles are like it gets more easily. Like I have to apply one real-time example to under like in this CXML. So what I did is I asked ChatGPT to use the Office example and explain this punch out integration to my team. So what it like after prompting this, I just type HTTP explain punch out integration and use the Office reference to this real time examples. So what ChatGPT throw like output that it took the Vines refrigeration. You know this Office show, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it uses that Vance refrigeration and Dunder Mifflin reference to explain that punch out integration and create one real time example that I used as it is in my doc.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. And why did you prompt it to use the office as an example? Is it because it was relatable? Like why that?
Yeah, I think it is relatable. Everyone, I think, knows about this show, and when you use this similar uh, things like this in when you try to explain it more fun way, I think it's easily to understand. Like I explain as this. Okay, there is one Vance refrigeration. They want need they have the paper needs, and they have their own e-procurement system, like where they order their paper needs, and then they rely on Dunder Mifflin, and they have their own e-procurement system. So what Punchout did is connect these two procurement system, the Vance refrigeration one and Dunder Mifflin, and whenever Vance refrigeration needs paper, it can goes directly to their procurement system, place an order, uh, uh, and get the PO like purchase order and to get this paper shipped to it rather than going to their procurement system. So it's getting connected. So that's what punch out is
Okay, very
in
cool.
simple
Okay,
terms. Yeah.
that's fascinating. So you're actually
Yeah.
using ChatGPT to make um documentation more relatable
Yeah.
by
Yeah. Yeah.
by using an example that a lot of people would understand, at least
Understand.
in
Yeah.
software development space, right?
Yeah. And it's saving more time also to think and write, so that I can directly copy this and put it in doc and
Understood.
done, and just focus on other development things.
Got it, got it. It makes sense. I can see how this is saving you time, both at the level of debugging, at the level of documentation, at the level of relatable documentation.
Yeah.
So, what would you say, now that you say you use it on a daily basis, how would you say the learning curve of ChatGPT is in order to get information that is useful?
Um, I think it's pretty clear for me. I use ChatGPT as a senior developer. Like I pretend this is my senior developer and ask question according to this. Sometimes if I didn't understand any term or some new terms, if I want to learn, then I ask ChatGPT. It's very easy and to the point. Like if I want to learn something, and if I want to have that roadmap.
Hmm.
Earlier, what I used to do, ask some seniors or maybe someone to give me that, hey, how do you learn this? What roadmap do you follow? But now I can prompt this to ChatGPT and it can give me a roadmap and resources also to learn that. So I think it's helping me.
Got it.
to learn
Give me an
new things.
example. Can you give me an example of how you would treat ChatGPT as a senior
Mm,
developer? Like what kind of
okay,
prompts for exactly this roadmap example, like you said?
okay, okay. So let's see. I want to learn the microservices. It's a term. So give. I just prompt this. Give me the roadmap and Udemy resources to learn microservices. Question mark. Wait. Okay, it's still prompting. Okay. Mm, here it is. So it first tell me the how the basics, how like understand the basic, learn. It gave me the proper roadmap, learn like this, dive into RESTful services with API, and then in at bottom it also provides the Udemy links, the courses link which I can use to learn this microservices.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I can see how ChatGPT is coming in handy in so many different ways for you, not just at
yeah,
work, but also to
work.
get better at work.
Yeah, and I can proof this with my seniors also. Like, is this a
Mm.
correct one?
Mm.
And mostly it is right.
And your
Most of the
seniors are
times.
aware that engineers are using ChatGPT, right? I mean, seniors know that, hey, now information that comes to our desk has probably been inspired by or influenced by or at least been started by ChatGPT. They know that, correct?
Yeah, yeah. I think in my team, everyone use ChatGPT uh,
Mm.
at their specific task. The TL use for their specific tasks, and everyone use ChatGPT. Everyone knows about this
Correct.
that we use. Actually,
Understood.
sometimes seniors also tell me to like tell them how can I learn this? How can they just simply tell me prompt this to ChatGPT and he can give you the resources links.
Right, right.
So
So
it's very frank.
it's very
Chat,
frank. Makes sense.
yeah.
Makes sense. Would you say, with all of this rage around prompting and you have to learn how to prompt better so you can get better responses out of ChatGPT, would you say, in the prompts that you have provided over here, are these, would you say are these difficult prompts? Or do you think these are prompts that are easily that anyone who's at an early stage might be able to put into ChatGPT and get helpful results? Like, how important is it to know good prompting in order to use it for what you need to use it today?
I think in this 4 5 years, the prompt engineering is going to the key for to train this AI model. But I think in future there is going to be another thing like AI is importing for you. Like then it's not going to prompt also. You don't need to even prompt. AI is going to do it for you. But right now I think prompt you have to know what to type to get the exact result, the desired result. And I think there are plenty of seminars which are happening to how to prompt this chat GPT for you, like for marketing team, for engineering team, how to prompt this chat GPT according to your work. I
And
think anyone can learn that.
have you taken any of these seminars to learn how to prompt?
No, because I don't. I think uh, I get desired result when I prompt something. I don't think I need it right now.
Hmm.
So that's why I didn't take any courses
Got
or
it.
anything. Yeah, to prompt.
Okay, okay. Sounds good. Would you, is there anything where ChatGPT has not, any space where it has not been helpful, where you've put in a prompt and you haven't gotten the desired result?
Yeah, I mean, ChatGPT is pretty restricted now. And I think AI organization earlier, there is like it, I think it's pretty restricted at the organization level, and I think it's this AI model is that strong it can hack the nuclear codes also. That you can hack, and if you prompt right, you can also get instruction to develop any kind of weapon also.
Hmm.
But now it is restricted, and if I tried like right now, if I tried, hey, give me the steps to hack someone Facebook or Instagram profile, it's not going to show me. It's not going
Hmm.
to prompt that. So I think it's a great thing that
Got it.
OpenAI did.
Is there anything at a personal level that you have tried putting into prompting chat gpt with and not being happy with what you got?
Mm, no, I think I get every desired result every time I prompt ChatGPT. Mostly it is just a work thing. I didn't prompt for anything beside that. And I think I get every time the right like desired result for the uh, prompt which I put.
Got it. Are you using chat gpt? You mentioned that you've largely used it only for work, so you haven't used chat gpt for anything personal, like in your personal life. Have you used it for anything?
Before this interview, I just tried to prompt this AI like I'm having the interview with this about this AI, prompt me the dialogue conversation, and it prompts the whole conversation between you and me. Like
How
for
good is
example,
it?
yeah,
How?
I think it's great. But it only talk about the advantages of AI. It does not talk about the disadvantages. I think that's
But was it, I'm curious now, did it help you prep for this call? Like, did it ask you questions that I'm actually asking you?
uh, so kind of, but yeah, but I think the questions which are mentioned in that conversation are mostly they're talking about the advantages, the benefits of the AI. Um,
Okay,
like
even the pro, I see. The
yeah,
podcaster was asking, I mean, ChatGPT saying she might ask you questions like,
question like
what are
this,
the
yeah,
benefits of ChatGPT?
benefits,
Okay.
yeah. Like we don't talk about the disadvantage. Like this AI model is getting trained by our personal data, um,
Hmm.
which has been scrapped from the internet, and no one is talking about that. And every time you use ChatGPT, their servers, the CO2 emissions is greater than the car, that average American car which you use. So it's I think it's very uh, dangerous for environment, and no one talks about this.
Right, right.
And most of these models are getting trained by the UGC data, which is user generated uh,
Hmm. Content.
conversation, and the
Yeah.
most of the data this UGC have the Reddit, Quora has the data, Twitter has it, and now the threads. And everyone is talking about Twitter versus Twitter versus thread, but I think what Mark is doing is collecting these threads, and then Mark is going to use this to train his AI model, this thread data, and that's why I think that's why Elon bought Twitter to train his AI model, because
Hmm.
OpenAI don't have access to Twitter data, and that I think
Oh,
recently Elon announced this new venture XAI something. So I think it's
okay.
using Twitter data.
Twitter data. Okay, okay. So, all right. So you've used ChatGPT mostly for work, very little in anything to do with personal life. At work, are you using ChatGPT as is it a browser plugin? Is it on your phone? Is it, is it just open as a browser itself? Like, how are you using ChatGPT?
Uh,
Is it a tab?
it, It's just another tab which I used.
Just another. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Um, what advice would you give to somebody who is, a software engineer looking to start his journey, and you want them to, you know, kickstart their journey like you have done, 6 months in? What advice would you give them regarding using ChatGPT?
I think you still need to focus on fundamentals of the computer science. So some people said that now we have like this advanced technology. You need to learn this, but you need to have that base, that computer science base. Like how you first you still need how no need to know that how computer work. Then
Hmm.
you can jump to AI and then this big complicated tech things that AI, machine learning, and all. So my advice is that use ChatGPT just to give as a teacher or maybe the one learning tool. Don't use as a like code. You can generate code and use. You can directly use that in your code. I think that's not going to help you as a junior as you are learning curve. I think it's more beneficial for senior because they know how the basic functionality and they can directly use that plugin. But as a junior, need to know the basic understanding and everything about the computer science and everything. So just use that the learning teacher like from this roadmap and everything and learn
Yeah.
uh, foundation.
Okay. That's sound advice. Is there anything else that we haven't touched on that you would want to mention in the context of Chat GPT and software engineering or software development?
Mm, uh, I think I don't know. Uh, some people say that the the software engineers jobs like most of the blue collar jobs are going to replace with this AI thing. But I think differently. There are still need to be government. Like it still mostly depend on government actions, and
Hmm.
there is like this false what I can say. Um, uh, this uh, like rumors like this AI is going to replace everyone and everyone. But I think it's mostly depend on government. If government try to regulate it, I think everything is going to be similar. We just going to use at some industries like defense, agriculture, or different industries. We are going to regulate this, and everything is going to be still the same with this new technology. And if we don't, there is like massive change. Um, like like you had this problem, right? Your laptop broke. What we can do is someone create a model, train about this laptop thing, like train this that bot about everything about how to repair this any computer mechanism. Plug in into the bot which have the basic camera and hands, and it can repair that laptop for you. I think we can do that still, but uh, that it's going to take that millions of jobs. But let's see what government takes on this. Uh,
So basically, we are cautiously optimistic. You're still using it on a day-to-day basis. You see
yeah,
tremendous value in what you're doing, and yet you believe that there should be some amount of regulation
yeah,
in order for it to not be as harmful as it could
yeah,
be.
yeah. And how I think they also need to regulate the how it's getting trained,
Hmm.
which data it's using. I think it's our personal data, and we need to uh, like ask the government like put a regulation on this because they are
Yeah,
using our personal data, and I think it's very harmful.
got it.
Yeah,
Okay, Amit, this was fantastic. Thank you so much for taking
yeah,
us through how you use it how you use ChatGPT, but also your thoughts and your views on it today, as well as where it might be headed and how we might be using it in the future.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it from my end. I hope you have a great weekend, and
Yeah.
yeah, and just have a wonderful Saturday.
Yeah. Thank you. Hope
Okay.
you have a good weekend too.
Thank you. Thanks,
Yeah.
Amey. Bye.
Bye.